Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to my very first video. My name is Willie B. Coyote, and today we are going to be playing Brutal Doom, or as I like to call it, Wish.com Doom Eternal. So, what exactly is Brutal Doom? I'm glad you asked. It's a mod for the original Doom games running on the GZ Doom source port, and it takes the original Doom games, Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 64, TNT Evolution, and etc., and turns it into Doom Eternal if it was made with the build engine. It's a really fun mod. It's honestly one of the definitive ways to play Doom this far into the 21st century, in my opinion. Before I begin, let's get the self-promotion out of the way. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment. My goal with this channel is hopefully to be monetized by the end of the decade, so I'd really appreciate any help you guys would give me. So without further ado, let's get started. We're gonna start off by playing normal on Knee Deep in the Dead. Now, when you play Brutal Doom, there's a bunch of new difficulties modes added, such as Black Metal. I'm not even going to try to attempt that. So, and I don't want to die too much today, so I think we'll just start with Power Fantasy, which is a fairly easy difficulty that just packs the maps to the brim with a whole bunch of enemies, like higher amount of enemies than normal. Here we go. Let's go. So, obviously, like build engine games, the GZ Doom source support allows you to look up and down, like this. You can sprint, and of course, you reload your weapons. Here we go. And this is one of the new Brutal Doom weapons. It's the submachine gun here. It's one of the more fun weapons to use. It uses the same ammunition as the standard pistol. It's a really fun weapon to use, and you can also dual wield it like the pistols. Now we got the shotgun, one of the classic overhauled Doom weapons. Oh, right, the secret's around here somewhere. Here it is. Through here. This is another one of the new weapons. It's the assault rifle. Uses the same ammunition as the chain gun, and makes an okay automatic weapon. So, at its core, Brutal Doom is essentially a gameplay overhaul for the original Doom games, running on the GZ Doom source port, as I said before. It makes a whole bunch of different modifications. It improves the sprite work. It adds a whole bunch of new weapons to the game, and a whole bunch of new mechanics as well. All in all, it really is just, essentially just turns the original Doom games into Wish.com Doom Eternal, and that's not a bad thing either. It's kind of, that's one of the things I absolutely love about this mod, is the fact that it is quite literally Wish.com Doom Eternal. Like, the exploding barrels are actually a threat now, and so are the zombie men as well, because they pack all the same weapons that you do, so they can do some serious damage. I also am running the Doom Metal Volume 7 mod as well, which overhauls the music in the background. Gives it a little more oomph that fits with the Brutal Doom mod a lot better, in my opinion. We are. First level completed. I think for this Let's Play series now, I'm probably going to end up doing, like, one video for each episode of the original Doom. And, going from there, I might play Doom 2 and Doom 64 as well. Depending on how well this does, so... I don't know, we'll see. This is another cool feature as well that comes in Brutal Doom. You can do a quick kit like Duke's Mighty Boot from Duke Nukem, which is really fun. So I can run up and boosh! You can also flip them off like this.
Fuck yourself!
I love that. Let's get the secret here. Back here. Usually you get the chain gun back here, but I guess not. We got the red key, now we go here. Oh, and another little trick about playing Brutal Doom, if you aim down the sights of the shotgun, you can fire a lot quicker. And we go into the darkened area. This is another feature I like about Brutal Doom, is the fact that if you press F, you've got a flashlight. So you can actually see in the dark. Here. Let's get the secret here. It's always tricky figuring out where the secrets are in these games, but then again, they wouldn't be secrets otherwise. And here we are, the chainsaw. Oh man, probably one of the most satisfying classic weapon upgrades provided by the Brutal Doom mod. I love using the dual-wield assault rifles. It makes a good alternative to the chain gun if you don't have it, or if you just don't want to chew through ammo really, really fast. Get through here. And there's another cool feature in this game, well, in this mod anyways. I'm not sure if it's there in the base game, but one of the things that happens is every now and then, and if you position yourself right and the enemies will friendly fire each other, they'll start turning on each other with friendly fire if they shoot one another. So like the pinky demons will eat the zombie men or the imps or whatever, and they'll start fighting each other basically. It's really cool. I'm not sure if it's there in the base game, but it is here in Brutal Doom. And of course, you can always aim down sights in Brutal Doom as well, which is kind of cool if you want to get to some guys that are really far away. And through this door. And that's another level completed. Here we go. First pinky demon. So, like, here's an example of that friendly fire I was talking about, where the pinky demon is the attacking this guy who just shot him. And now these two guys are shooting at each other. So yeah, if you're in a really crowded room with a lot of enemies, the chance of them doing friendly fire on each other is pretty high. Here's another handy feature from Brutal Doom. You can throw quick grenades. Secret up here. Yellow key. Let's get the secret up here. Let's get the rocket launcher. No, actually, it's not the rocket launcher here today. It's the grenade launcher, which is one of the other new Brutal Doom weapons. It uses the same ammo as the rocket launcher, but it just kind of like adds another little bit to the sandbox. And here's the chain gun at last. This is probably one of the single most over-the-top weapons in the entire mod, which is the classic chain gun. So, for example, if I right-click, it'll pre-spin the barrels, and... oh, man, that is so satisfying. I mean, come on, look at that. Need I say more about how good the chain gun is in Brutal Doom? Like, it actually feels like a real proper minigun now when compared to the base vanilla Doom. Now, I'm not trying to like, crap on vanilla Doom or anything, but I think that pretty much speaks enough for itself. The amount of devastation I've caused here today. Back here. Guys over here. Friendly firing each other again. Let's go back to the shotgun for a little bit. Key and imps in here. Another way that they've kind of changed up the gameplay a little bit is that the fact that the imps can now jump at you from across the room and climb around on the ceiling every now and then. So that's a really cool kind of feature. Let's hit this secret here. Oh. Of course, now you've got two options. You can head through the blue door, or you can head this way and end it quicker. And you'll also get an alternate starting point at the next level. Pickups in there. Of course, I'm probably missing quite a few secrets already. So, like, if you're like a veteran Doom player who's been playing since back in the days of yore, back in 1992 when the game first came out, and I'm missing a lot of secrets, by all means, leave a comment and tell me how much of a noob I am. Grenade launcher time. Oh man, need I say more about the grenade launcher? There we go. Just trying to find the minigun there. And another level bites the dust. On my way to command and control. Kitchen Ace and Taking Names. That's probably one of my favorite songs on the original Doom soundtrack. Here, pick up the imps, and blue key, open it up again, and continue on to the level. You know, mods like Brutal Doom are honestly one of the reasons why id Software's decision to open source the Doom engine is probably one of the best decisions ever made by any video game developer in the entire history of gaming. Just because the Doom engine is open source, everyone can access the source code, everyone can make mods and, you know, just like do all kinds of crazy stuff with it and even make their own games with it. You know, 3D Realms followed the same route with the build engine, like Ken Silverman, I believe his name was, open sourced the build engine a few years ago, and people have been making games left and right with the build engine. Like on Steam, there's a game called AWOL, A-W-O-L, which started off life as a mod for Duke Nukem 3D, but became a standalone, free-to-play tactical shooter running on the build engine. I've played that game all the way front to back, all the way through twice now, and it's a really, really fun game. I do highly recommend it. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I'll just leave a link in the description below along with the rest of the Brutal Doom, with the mods that I'm using for this Doom playthrough here. Let's get the secret back here. And now I got the rocket launcher. So, like with the other Brutal Doom weapons, you can zoom in with the rocket launcher, which is really cool. Those guys, take out this guy and this guy, and this guy. It's really fun what Sergeant Mark did when he made Brutal Doom, and when he added new weapons like the submachine gun, so like every now and then instead of a shotgun, the shotgun sergeants will spawn with a submachine gun instead of a shotgun. You know, it really spices up the gameplay having more enemy variety. Get more rockets there. Here. And into the endless maze of demons here. Don't want to blow myself up with an explosive barrel there. Oh, God, I love the chain gun. Yes, excuse me, sir. Would you like a chain gun sandwich? Perhaps for your friends as well. another level bites the dust. We're getting there now. Entering the Phobos lab. Here comes an invisible pink demon here. You know, back in the 90s when there was the whole, like, Satanic Panic 2.0 and, like, Doom was at the center of it, honestly seems really, really bizarre to me looking back on it with hindsight, considering the fact that this is a game about fighting demons. You know, like, if anything, you could make the argument that Doom is a Christian game because you're literally fighting demons. But, you know what, who knows, that was like 30 years ago, so, you know, it's statute of limitations and stuff, so who cares. It was really interesting, though, kind of comparing the whole panic around Doom back in the 90s and how similar it was to other moral panics surrounding pop culture. Like, back in the 50s, you know, parents were throwing a fit over comic books, and, you know, and all the various fits over music. Like, back in the 30s, it was big band jazz is degenerate and turning your kids into degenerate perverts. And back in the 40s, it was swing music. Back in the 50s and 60s, it was rock and roll. In the 70s, it was punk rock. In the 80s, it was heavy metal. And in the 90s, it was gangster rap. Like, people will literally find a way to be offended by literally everything just because they don't like something. Or, like, it's not in accordance with their personal taste. Like, if you don't like Doom, that's fine, but just be honest and say that you don't particularly like Doom. You don't like the violence, you don't like this style of game, you know, you're not really a fan of shooters, and that's totally fine, you know, like, but don't go trying to deprive other people of it just because it's not in accordance with your own personal taste. You know, people who enjoy something will find a way to enjoy it. And they will enjoy it in any way they see fit. And that is totally fine for them to do it that way. Just live and let live, you know? It's really not that hard. That's another cool feature, is guys who get set on fire will run around in pain. That's another satisfying addition to the Brutal Doom mod. There we go. Let's get this ammo here. Loading. You don't really need to aim down the sights all that often in Brutal Doom. You can hit targets just fine when you're not aiming sights, but it is handy if you're taking out guys from, like, way across the map. Door here, and into the darkness once again. Hello, darkness, my old friend! You You know, I know this guy who, at the high school I went to, one of the things we were required to do was to recite a piece of poetry in front of, the whole class for, like, literature or whatever. And some guy I knew who graduated a few years ahead of me, he was going to do Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence, which isn't a bad pick, to be honest. But then his buddy decided to do for his senior recitation Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. So yeah, the school faculty didn't particularly like that, and he had to, and my buddy had to then take a whole new thing to recite, all the way from scratch, all because his buddy thought it would be a good idea to do Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones, and my buddy wasn't able to do Sound of Silence. So yeah, another thing about moral panics there. And Phobos Lab finished. On to central processing. Alright. These guys, and then switch to the rocket launcher to take out this horde of dudes coming my way. Oh man, I love this gun. Heck, I love all the guns in Brutal Doom. That's one of the best parts about Brutal Doom is the fact that the standard vanilla Doom weapons all get a cosmetic and gameplay overhaul, but all the new weapons that are included also, they what's the word I'm looking for? They flow seamlessly with the existing weapons sandbox in Doom. And, as if they were, like, always there to begin with. Like, each weapon has a purpose, and even if they use the similar ammunition, like the grenade launcher, for instance, makes a good alternative to rocket launcher if you don't want to chew through ammo. The assault rifle makes a good alternative to the minigun if you don't want to chew through ammo. You know, each weapon has a purpose, including the new ones. Like, especially the new ones, because, like, if you're gonna add a whole bunch of new weapons to the, Doom sandbox, then it's not gonna be a fun experience if they don't flow well with the existing gameplay. Area here. Jump down back here, grab the biohazard suit. Get the secrets here. Secret here. Oh, and here's another cool feature from Brutal Doom. Every now and then you'll come across captured Marines who you can free, and they'll fight alongside you. So, the standard Green Marines here, they've just got a rifle. But then the Gray Marines have shotguns, the Red Marines have miniguns, and the Blue Marines have plasma rifles. So that's a cool, like, color coding system. Gotta find the yellow door key. Here. Let's see if we can do not backslash somebody while they're reloading a shotgun. That's really good life advice. If there's one consolation with this being my very first video is the fact that, you know, like, I can't get demonetized because my channel isn't even monetized to begin with. But who knows, maybe that'll change in the future. Head back this way, back to this door here, and get the yellow key. So, after I finish this playthrough of Doom, I might do, there's a guy on Steam named Valkman733 who's working on a conversion mod for Doom 3. I'm not going to get into details exactly what it is, but it's a really cool looking conversion mod, and I'm probably going to do a playthrough of Doom 3 with it once he finally does drop it in the near future. Head over here and grab the hazard suit. Secret area back here. That's another feature there in Brutal Doom, is that if you wound guys enough, they'll start shooting at you or like clutch their wounds as they lay dying, you know? It's one of the many other gameplay enhancements in Brutal Doom. Let's see if we can find a switch for that door. Up here. That switch. Got that ammo. Head back this way. And the door is open. Blow up the explosive barrels in here, so I don't want to blow myself up by accident. Have shotgun, will travel. Booyah, and here we go, demonic strength rune. This is a really cool feature. This is why I like to call Brutal Doom, Wish.com Doom Eternal right here. Because you can do that! Oh, so satisfying. Bada bing, bada boom, and I've taken his head as a trophy like the Predator. Yeah, occasionally when you do those basically 8 big glory kills like that, you'll either pick them up or like, and you can toss them across the room. And boom! Oh. I love this. It's so satisfying. I just split that guy in half. Rip and tear like it's 1993. 1993, what a year. Here we go. Entering the computer station. Alright. Yeah, the invisible pinky demons are probably one of the most frustrating enemies to deal with in Brutal Doom. Just because, you know, they really are much harder to see than they are in Vanilla Doom. At least I think they are anyway. And all you got to go off is just their beady little eyes, pretty much. Like, just the tiny glowing demon eyes that you can see along with a vague outline of what looks like a pinky demon. Got the yellow card there. Yellow card. Yellow Card is one of my favorite bands. I was there to see them at the 2016 Vans Warped Tour. Only time I ever got to go to Warped Tour before Warped Tour called it quits. So, yeah. That was fun. First and only time I ever got to go to Warped Tour, but at least I got to go. And one of the bands I saw that day was Yellow Card. It was on their farewell tour. Well, it was on right before their actual farewell tour, before they called it quits. But now they're back together, so that's cool. You know, it really does signify that you feel like you're getting old when a lot of classic internet acts like Smosh are now in their 30s. Like, Anthony Padilla is like 34, 36, I think he is. You know, like, it honestly shows you that millennials and Gen Z are getting old. Like, I was born in 1999, which is so, like, about, like, right on the leading edge of between Gen Z and the millennials. So, yeah. Down here. Get back here, get these guys. Back up this way, get the secret door. Let's find that door and get out of here. This area here. Sorry if there was a little bit of dead air there. I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. But here we go. This way. You know, playing through the Doom Eternal's Ancient Gods DLC Part 2, I honestly got me thinking of, like, where could they possibly take that franchise from there? Like, you know, and then thinking about that brought me back to the new release of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And I was thinking about, like, is there ever a point where enough is enough, and no matter how classic or beloved an IP is, should there ever be a point where we're just like, you know what, that's it, we shouldn't do anything more with this, we've done all we can, so let's come up with something new. Like, and that really frustrates me when companies try to milk IPs for all they're worth, because when you try to milk something for all it's worth, you're gonna ruin it. That's just a fact of life and a fact of creative endeavors. If you milk something hard enough, long enough, you're gonna ruin it. Like, a good example of this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, Phase 1 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has some of the best superhero movies ever made. But then you fast forward to now, post-Avengers Endgame, like, where do they go from here? Like, what was the end goal build-up for Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, Phase 1 built up to the first Avengers team-up movie, Phase 2 built up to the Civil War, and Phase 3 built up to Endgame. Like, where do they go from here? They've got nowhere else to go, creatively speaking. Like, I know they're trying to set up, like, Kang the Conqueror as, like, the next big baddie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but, you know, like between Jonathan Majors being banged up in court for domestic abuse allegations and, you know, all this other stuff, like, there's rocky waters ahead for the MCU. Like, it is probably not going to be the box office powerhouse in the future that it has been for the last decade and a half or so. I know I'm probably going to trigger a few Marvel shills for saying that, but, you know, like, hey, like, facts are facts, and, you know, like, people are burned out on the MCU. Like, and because people are burned out on the MCU, they're going to look elsewhere for their entertainment. They're going to look elsewhere for that superhero fix, and I honestly think James Gunn said it best when he was talking about where superhero fatigue comes from. He said it comes from the fact that a lot of those superhero movies that come out nowadays just aren't very good. And I honestly agree with him. Like, a lot of them aren't very good. Like, Captain Marvel, like, while not, like, a lot of people hype up Captain Marvel as, like, the worst thing to happen in the history of the MCU. No, it isn't. It's honestly just comprehensively meh. It's mid-tier in every sense of the word, that movie. And Black Panther was okay, but, you know, the cast honestly carried that whole movie on their shoulders. The story in Black Panther was literally just a Spock standard MCU origin story, but the thing that carried it was that cast. And honestly, the best MCU movies made were the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's not even up for debate at this point. And now James Gunn has gone off to basically helm the DC movies going forward, so now Marvel doesn't even have their golden goose in the form of the Guardians of the Galaxy anymore. So there's that. Tangent aside, we finished that level, and now we're on to the final boss level. Here we go. Blow up all these guys. Ah, that's always so satisfying. Up this way. Let's get that and that. Make sure we're nice and stocked up on ammo. Rocket launcher at the ready. And here we go. And there's loads of invisible pinky demons here. Get the invisibility power up they got. gun this guy here. Grab some ammo. No, do not want the assault rifle. Give me the rocket launcher, please. Thank you. And I am out of rockets. And I missed him with the last grenade I had. Guy off with our shotgun. Now let's finish these guys off. And with that, I do believe we are finished with my very first video. I played through the entire first episode of Brutal Doom. Here, and let's kill these guys. Or do they kill each other? I'm honestly not sure at this point. And there we go. Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Aren't you? Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this? It's not supposed to end this way. It stinks like rotten meat, but it looks like the lost demon Hamos base. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. The only way out is through. To continue the Doom experience, play The Shores of Hell and its amazing sequel, Inferno. There we go. That's the very first episode of Brutal Doom. Thanks a lot, everybody. And that should conclude my very first YouTube video. All I gotta do now is head to the editing room, get this edited all nice and pretty, and post it to the channel. So, thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!